What if I told you that inside you there's a hidden power, a secret that could change everything? Your relationships, your inner peace, even how you face life's chaos. It's not an empty promise or a self-help trick. It's something Carl Jung, one of the great explorers of the human soul, discovered over a century ago. He called it the archetype of the healer, a universal force we all carry within, but few know how to awaken. And when you do, everything flourishes. Your confidence, your connections, your purpose. Sounds incredible, right? But here's the key. It's not something you find outside in a book or in someone else. It's in you, waiting for you to embrace it. Today, we'll walk that path together, step by step, with Jung's ideas as our compass. So stay with me, because this isn't just a video, it's an invitation to transform your life. Carl Jung wasn't just a psychologist. He was a visionary who dared to look where others wouldn't. The unconscious, that mysterious part of our mind that holds our fears, desires, and deepest truths. He believed we all share universal patterns he called archetypes. Imagine archetypes as invisible molds that shape how we think, feel, and act. One of the most powerful is the healer, that inner voice that seeks to mend our wounds, reconnect what's broken, and guide us toward a fuller life. But it doesn't appear magically. You have to summon it. And that begins when you dare to listen to what your soul has been trying to tell you for a long time. Think of a moment in your life, maybe recently amidst the stress of balancing work, family, or that relationship that's got you spinning. You felt something, didn't you? A pang in your chest, a knot in your stomach, an intuition whispering, this isn't right. But you ignored it, pushed forward, because that's life, because there's no time, or because, what will others think? Jung would say that was your unconscious speaking. That feeling wasn't a punishment, it was a signal. The healer inside you was trying to wake up, begging you to pay attention. Let me give you an example you'll probably recognize. Imagine Maria, a 32-year-old woman in Bogota. She works in an office, takes care of her kids, and has been in a relationship that, on paper, seems perfect. Her partner is kind, stable, but something's off. Every time she's with him, she feels an emptiness she can't explain. Or think of Daniel, a 40-year-old man in Los Angeles with a good job, but every Sunday night he feels something's missing, like his life's on autopilot. Sound familiar? Jung would say those feelings aren't random. They're the unconscious screaming that we've lost touch with our essence. The healer archetype is the bridge to get it back. Here's a pause for us to reflect together. Take a second and ask yourself, when was the last time I felt that weird, unexplainable discomfort? What was I doing? Who was I with? You don't need to answer out loud, just note it mentally because we'll come back to it later. This is the first practical step. Start noticing the signals. Jung said the unconscious doesn't speak in words but in symbols and emotions. That intuition telling you to step away from someone or chase that dream, that's the healer in action. Learning to listen to it can change everything. But it's not all that simple, right? We live in a fast-paced world, paying bills, caring for others, keeping up appearances. It's easy to disconnect from ourselves. Jung got that. He said the unconscious doesn't give up. If you ignore it, it finds other ways to get noticed. Ever had a weird dream you can't shake? Or a fight with someone that left you thinking more about yourself than the argument? That's your unconscious persisting, and the healer's behind it, waiting for you to let it act. Let's talk about the shadow, another key Jung concept. The shadow is everything we hide. Those flaws we won't admit, those fears we cover with excuses, those parts of ourselves we judge as bad. For example, maybe Maria in Bogota feels selfish for wanting time for herself instead of giving it all to her family. Or Daniel in LA suppresses his desire to switch careers because at his age it's too late. The shadow isn't your enemy, it's part of you. The healer shows up when you dare to face it, accept it, and integrate it. Imagine this. You're at a family gathering, and someone makes a comment that stings. Normally, you stay quiet, bottle it up, smile on the outside while rage boils inside. That rage is your shadow peeking out. Jung would say ignoring it only makes it stronger. But if you face it, if you ask, why does this hit me so hard? The healer steps in. Maybe you realize it's not just the comment, but an old pain of feeling unseen. Integrating the shadow doesn't mean becoming perfect. It means becoming fully human. Now, a practical action: next time you feel anger, sadness, or frustration, don't avoid it. Grab a notebook and write, "What's this showing me about myself?" You don't need deep answers right away. Just start. This exercise is like offering a hand to the healer inside you. And if you're up for it, share in the comments how it went. I'd love to read it and see others inspired to try it. Speaking of that, if this message is already hitting home, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next, because this is just the beginning. Back to the journey. Jung said life is a constant fork in the road. One path is easy, doing what everyone expects, sticking to routine, not rocking the boat. The other is unknown, listening to your intuition, taking risks, facing what scares you. The healer nudges you toward that second path, because that's where growth lives. Before we go on, I'll mention my book's available. It's packed with tips and techniques to help you overcome emotional blocks and love yourself more. Find the link in the description and pinned comment. Let's continue. Think of Ana, 28, in Mexico City. She quit a stable job to pursue her passion for painting. Everyone called it crazy, but today she not only lives off her art, she feels alive. Or Juan, 35, in Medellin, who ended a toxic relationship and found peace in solitude. The healer blooms when you choose what's real over what's comfortable. But picking that path isn't easy. We fear the void, the "what if I fail?" Jung knew this. He said that void is sacred. It's like clearing out a closet full of old clothes. When you ditch what you don't wear, you make room for the new. When you let go of what doesn't serve you, a draining relationship, a soul-crushing job, a limiting belief, the healer starts working. Your energy shifts and the universe responds. Have you noticed how, after a brave choice, things start falling into place? That's not chance, it's synchronicity, another Jung term. We'll dive deeper into that later. For now, picture your life as a garden. There are wilted flowers, habits that weigh you down, people who drain you. The healer's the gardener, pruning those dead branches so stronger ones can grow. But you have to give it permission. How? By listening to those signals we mentioned: the knot in your stomach, the recurring dream, the gut feeling you can't explain but feel. Every time you follow it, the healer grows stronger and your life starts to bloom. Here's another reflection moment. Think of something or someone draining you right now. Maybe a friendship that always takes but never gives, or a project that no longer excites you. What if you let it go? Don't make big moves yet. Just imagine how you'd feel. Lighter, freer, right? That's the healer whispering, trust. If this is stirring something in you, share it in the comments. Tell me what you want to let go of and why. Your words could be the push someone else needs. We've talked about signals, the shadow, the healer waking up, but this is just the start. When you embrace this archetype, you don't just heal inner wounds. You transform your relationships and purpose. In the next part, we'll explore how the healer helps you protect your energy and release what doesn't align. So don't go anywhere, because what's coming is even deeper. If you're enjoying this, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with someone who needs this message. Together, we can help more people discover their inner healer. If you've made it this far, you know the healer archetype, this force Carl Jung saw in us all, starts to bloom when you listen to your unconscious and face your shadow. But now let's go further. What happens when that healer fully awakens? It doesn't just fix what's broken inside, it changes how you connect with others and how you guard what's most precious, your energy. Because when you embrace this archetype, it's not just you that transforms, everything around you starts to align. So let's keep this journey going, because what's next is key to making your life truly flourish. Jung said our energy is sacred. It's not just a mystical idea, it's the fuel that gets you up each morning, that gives you strength to love, create, and chase what matters. But what happens when you leave it unguarded? Think of Sophia, 45, in Guadalajara. She's a mom, works at a bank, and is always there for everyone: her kids, her boss, her friends. But by day's end, she's empty. Or picture Luis, 29, in Miami, scrolling social media for hours, comparing himself to others, ending up exhausted without knowing why. Sound familiar? That's what happens when you give your energy away without filters. The healer teaches you to set boundaries, not out of selfishness, but self-love. Let's be real. Ever been with someone who leaves you wiped out after talking? Maybe a coworker who always complains or a relative who critiques everything. You start the day upbeat, but 5 minutes with them and your spark's gone. Jung would say that's no accident. Those interactions mirror your unconscious, showing where you need to heal and where you're giving too much. The healer doesn't ask you to cut everyone off, but to say no when something doesn't nourish you. Here's a practical example. Carla, 38, in Cali, had a friend of years who'd called a vent but never asked how she was. Carla felt bad about pulling away until she asked, "What's this giving me?" She chose distance, not with anger, but clarity. At first it felt odd, but then she noticed something. More time for herself, more peace. Or think of Miguel, 42, in Houston, who stopped answering work messages after hours. His boss was shocked, but he felt free. That's the healer at work, protecting your energy so you can thrive. Now a pause for you. Reflect. Who or what's draining you today? Maybe a heavy relationship or a habit like checking your phone every 5 minutes. Imagine setting a limit. How would you feel? Calmer, more in control, right? This isn't theory. It's something you can try today. If you're up for it, tell me in the comments what you decided to limit. I'd love to hear how it goes, and your words might help someone else take that step. Jung also talked about projections. What's that? Simple. What you see in others, good or bad, reflects you. If someone drives you nuts, it's not just them. It's something in you haven't faced. For example, if your partner's messiness bugs you, maybe it's because you suppress your own chaos. The healer invites you to look at those projections, not to blame yourself, but to grow. When you do, your relationships shift. You stop battling the world and start healing it from within. Think of this. You're arguing with your sister because she's always late. You get mad, call her out, but still feel off. Jung would say, hold on. What's this showing you about yourself? Maybe you realize you hate tardiness because you demand perfection from yourself. When you integrate that, you don't just stop fighting with her, you ease that inner pressure. Or imagine a colleague criticizes you and it gets under your skin. Through the healer's lens, you might see their words hidden insecurity. Healing it makes you stronger, not weaker. Here's another practical action. Next time someone ticks you off, ask, what part of me is reacting? Write what you find. You don't have to share it, but if you want, drop it in the comments. This exercise is like a mirror the healer holds up. And speaking of sharing, if this is helping you, give it a like and pass it to someone who needs to hear it. Together, we can wake up more inner healers. Now let's talk letting go. Jung said relationships that don't align are messages from the unconscious. Think of those friendships or romances that feel like a battlefield. Misunderstandings, fights, exhaustion. It's easy to blame the other person, but the healer asks you to look deeper. What if that chaos is a sign you're not being true to yourself? Letting go isn't giving up. It's choosing you. Imagine Laura, 34, in Monterey, who spent years trying to fix a relationship that dimmed her light. When she let it go, she didn't just reclaim her energy, she found a love that made her shine. Or Pedro, 50, in Chicago, who quit a toxic job and discovered a passion for teaching. Letting go is the healer pruning your life so it can bloom. But letting go hurts. We cling because we fear the void. Jung said that void is a gift, the silence before music, the blank canvas before art. When you release what doesn't serve you, you make space for what does. And that's where synchronicity kicks in. Another Jung gem. We'll talk more about it soon. For now, picture your life as a garden with wilted flowers, habits that drag you down, people who sap you. The healer's the gardener, clearing the dead wood for stronger growth. But you have to say yes. How? By heeding those signals. The gut knot, the nagging dream, the hunch you can't shake. Each time you trust it, the healer gains strength and your life starts to blossom. Another reflection moment. Think of something or someone draining you right now, a friendship that's all take, no give, a project that's lost its spark. What if you let it go? Don't act big yet, just picture it. How'd you feel? Lighter, freer? That's the healer whispering, trust. If this is moving you, share in the comments what you want to release and why. Your words don't just free you, they spark others. Let's talk healthy relationships, because the healer doesn't just help you let go. It guides you to connections that lift you up. Jung believed the people we keep close shape our psyche. Surrounded by doubt, criticism, or drama, your healer weakens. But with support, inspiration, authenticity, it thrives. Think of Daniela, 27, in Barranquilla, who ditched judgy friends and found ones who cheered her dreams. Or Carlos, 36, in New York, who swapped competitive colleagues for a team that fuels him. The healer pushes you to choose ties that mirror your truth. Here's a practical tip. Make a quick list. One side, people who energize you. The other, those who drain you. Don't judge, just notice. Then decide how to adjust. You don't have to cut everything off. Just give more room to what feeds you. If you're game, tell me in the comments who's on your energy positive list. I'd love to celebrate those connections with you. The healer also reconnects you with your dreams. Remember those goals you had before life got messy? Maybe travel, writing, starting something. But noise, opinions, duties dim them. Jung said those dreams don't die. They wait in your unconscious for you to claim them. When the healer wakes, it brings clarity to chase them. Picture Elena, 41, in Tijuana, who left a safe job to open a cafe. Today, she's not just successful, she's alive. Or Javier, 33, in Bogota, who picked up his guitar after years and now plays in a band. That's the healer blooming. Last pause for this part. Think of a dream you let slip. What was it? What stopped you? You don't have to restart it today, just imagine how it'd feel to try. That tingle, it's the healer calling. If this is stirring you, subscribe and share this video. The next part's the finale, how the healer transforms your whole reality. Don't miss it. We're at the heart of this journey. If you followed this far, you know how the healer archetype, Carl Jung's vision for us all, wakes when you listen to your unconscious, face your shadow, and guard your energy. Now let's see how fully embracing it makes your entire reality bloom. It's not just about healing wounds or bettering relationships. It's about living so authentically that the universe has no choice but to align with you. So get ready, because this is the grand finale, and it's packed with power. Jung believed the life we experience outside mirrors our inner world. Chaos, drama, emptiness. It's not just bad luck. It's your unconscious begging you to look inside. But when the healer takes charge, that reflection shifts. Think of Rosa, 52, in Puebla, stuck in guilt and grudges for years until she faced her shadows. Now her family says she radiates peace, and she feels everything fits. Or Andres, 31, in Dallas, who stopped comparing himself and now attracts opportunities he never dreamed of. That's the healer reshaping reality. Let's talk authenticity, because this is the core. Jung said life's purpose isn't half-hearted happiness, it's wholeness. That starts when you let yourself be you. No masks, no imposed molds. Think how it feels when you change for someone, hiding opinions to avoid fights, faking interest in what bores you. That's betraying your essence, and the healer knows it. When you align with your truth, everything blooms. Your confidence, your bonds, your peace. Imagine Valeria, 29, in Cartagena, always the good girl, saying yes to everything until she'd had enough. She started speaking her mind, setting boundaries. She lost some friends but gained respect and a love that values her as is. Or Roberto, 47, in San Diego, who ditched his family's success script to open a woodworking shop. He says he's never felt so alive. The healer pushes you there to live from your authenticity, not expectations. Pause to reflect. Where in my life am I not being me? Maybe at work, staying quiet to keep the peace, or home, caring more than you should. Imagine saying enough and being 100% you. How's that relief feel? That's the healer whispering, this is the way. If this hits you, drop it in the comments. Where do you want to be more real, and why? Your words could light a spark for someone else. Jung also saw chaos as a gift. Yes, you read that right. Those crises, a breakup, a firing, a fight, aren't the end. They're the start. He said there's no awakening without pain, but that pain is a fire burning the old to birth the new. Think of Marisol, 39 in Lima, who after a rough divorce began writing and now inspires thousands with her blog. Or Diego, 35 in Denver, who lost a job and found his calling as a coach. The healer uses chaos to refine you, to make you bloom stronger. Here's a practical action. Next time you're in chaos, don't run. Feel it. Ask, what's this teaching me? Write what comes up. Maybe a lesson about your limits, fears, strength. That's the healer turning mess into clarity. If you try it, share in the comments how it went. I'd love to know, and others would too. Now let's talk synchronicity, pure magic. Jung described it as accidents that aren't. You meet the right person at the perfect time, stumble on a book that answers your questions. It's the universe confirming you're on track, but only when the healer's awake, when you live your truth. Think how, after dropping something toxic, an opportunity pops up. That's the healer and synchronicity teaming up. For example, picture Alicia, 44, in Culiacan, who ditched an exhausting friendship and weeks later met a mentor who helped launch her business. Or Gabriel, 30, in Orlando, who quit a hated job and found a free course that led to his passion. When you embrace the healer, the universe responds. It's not luck, it's alignment. You can live it if you dare to let go and trust. Another pause. Think of a time when everything clicked magically. What were you doing? What were you trusting? That was the healer guiding you. If you want, share it in the comments. Those stories remind us we're not alone. The healer also reconnects you with your purpose. Jung believed we all have a calling, something that gives our life meaning. But noise, expectations, doubts dim it. When you wake the healer, that purpose shines again. Think of Teresa, 50, in Querétaro, who left a corporate gig to teach yoga and says she found her soul. Or Manuel, 27, in Phoenix, who picked up photography again and now lives off it. The healer doesn't just heal, it guides you to what makes you buzz. Here's a final exercise. Write 3 things you loved doing as a kid. Dancing, drawing, exploring. Pick one and do it this week, even for 10 minutes. That small act is the healer linking you back to your core. If you do it, tell me in the comments how it felt. Those sparks of joy are the start of something big. We're at the close, but first, a quick recap. The healer archetype, as Jung saw it, is your inner power to heal, release, and bloom. It begins by listening to your unconscious, facing your shadow, guarding your energy. Then it leads you to authentic relationships and a purpose that fills you. Finally, it transforms your reality with synchronicity and wholeness. This isn't the end. It's your beginning. Embrace the healer, and everything will flourish. Reflect a second. What will you let go of today? What will you claim? Imagine your life in a month, a year, if you choose this path. That tingle of possibility, it's the healer calling. If this moved you, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs it. Together, we can spark a wave of transformation. One last call to action. Leave a comment. Tell me what you're taking from this, what you'll try, what you want to heal. Your words don't just inspire me, they build this community. Hit the bell so you don't miss what's next. We'll keep exploring how to live from the soul. Thanks for being here. Remember, the healer's in you, and when you embrace it, everything blooms. See you soon.